Welcome to Sports Daily, Shana. Thanks for joining us. Firstly, before we start talking about EFC 50, briefly just tell us how you got into mixed martial arts.
Mixed martial arts wasn't something that I chose. It was something that just kind of happened to me. I met Norman out. Norman Chef Vessels, he's currently the light heavyweight champion in the EFC. I studied a diploma in fitness, started chatting to him. He explained that he's the owner and runs Fight with Militia and trains out of there. Offered me a job to do my internship and to start learning about being a personal trainer and fitness and sports. And the more time I spent there, the more I started understanding and learning about MMA. And after trying it out and doing all the general classes, I started to fall in love with the sport. And over the years, I've got a competitive nature, and I wanted to start competing.
What was it like the first time you stepped inside the cage?
Very nervous. The first amateur fight, you zone in on your opponent, but you try to think clearly. It's nothing like sparring, but it's really just trying to think clearly and make the right decisions under pressure. I had a very tough opponent for my first amateur fight. She had quite a big name in the amateur community, and it was a frustrating fight for me because I was trying to play it safe and not make mistakes and get caught. I came out with the victory, but it wasn't my best performance.
And what's it like that first time you get dazed? Is that when the training kicks in?
To be honest, I've only touch wood been dazed in sparring. I haven't been hit in a fight. I've been fortunate enough to not get caught. My head and hands are fast enough for me to get out of danger in time before getting caught, but in sparring it's not a nice feeling at all. Trying to recover and keep going and not having your wits about you it's quite challenging.
How did you end up with the nickname Titanium?
3-4 years ago, I was diagnosed with pulmonary emboli. I had 28 clots in my lungs. I landed up in ICU. It wasn't a promising future. After that, they told me I'd never be able to fight or do any personal training and be in any contact sport. They put me on warfarin, which is a blood thinning tablet. So the tablet's very nasty. If I could bump my head, bump my arm, and I'd bruise really badly. So my mom came to visit me in the ICU, and Titanium had just come out with the song. She dedicated it to me. I had to fight hard for my life at that time, and the name just stuck there after being on warfarin for a couple of months. I went for a second opinion, and I got cleared and all my clots had dissolved, and I was fortunate enough to be able to continue fighting and training.
Would it be fair to say that was probably your biggest challenge in life?
Yes, I've been challenged in other aspects, but it was definitely a growing moment for me. My upbringing hasn't been an easy road, but it's made me who I am today, and it's given me the strength that I need in order to fight in the cage.
You mentioned your mom was a source of inspiration. Is she your only source of inspiration, or are there other people in the sport itself?
I don't look up to other athletes or people in my sport besides the people I train with, but I can't say that I'm a big fan of international athletes. So my inspiration is my mom, my wife, my sister and my aunt. Those are very close people for me that support me and keep me going. And then I've got my teammates, and the guys that I train with every day inspire me the most, and I look up to them and look to them for support and encouragement when days are tough.
Obviously, there's different types of inspiration. Your family provides one source of inspiration and your teammates another source of inspiration. Can you define the two of them?
Yeah, well, my inspiration in terms of my family, I'm surrounded with women that we all haven't had easy upbringing. So, my wife had a really tough upbringing, but seeing her success in life today and seeing how she's achieved and accomplished everything that she's set her mind to is inspiring me. My mom as well, she had 2 kids. She was a single parent. She raised myself and my sister, and she got through the dark days. So that's another way to look at light, or look to the light in dark times. My sister was in the same boat as me, and my aunt, I didn't have a father, so in terms of having another parent, I would speak to my aunt a lot. So those are women that inspire me and to keep going when days are tough. But then I've got teammates that inspire me when training's hard, when we're all tired, that keep us going, keep pushing me. When you don't want to have a training session, they're always there uplifting you. when sparring is hard, having the coaches to uplift you and to teach you and give you good criticism in order for you to get better. So there is two different ways of looking at how I'm inspired from the two different people and different sources.
It's going to be your second EFC event, EFC 50, after winning your first fight, EFC 45, with a knockout. What are your thoughts ahead of EFC 50, and how is your training camp going?
My training camp's gone very well. I've had a good 6 to 8 weeks of training. I look to this fight like no other. It's a fight at the end of the day. You've got to be well prepared in every aspect, every art. So I've tried to keep well-rounded and make sure that I'm prepared for anything. EFC 50, it's a massive event. I'm fortunate and privileged enough to be on the main card. I'm excited to be the co-main event, and I just feel that my camp and my preparation is going to make sure that I'm victorious on the night.
Okay. Obviously, you're fighting an Italian. You might forgive me with pronunciation of the name, Nicole de Signy. Do you know much about her?
Yeah, we always do our research on our opponents. I did see her fight when she was here in October. You know, she has a little bit of everything in every discipline. She's got a little bit of stand-up, a little bit of wrestling, a little bit of jits. There was nothing that I was too concerned or felt that I would be uncomfortable with when fighting her. I've prepared well for the fight. It's a fight. I fight every day. I train every day. I just feel that I'm more well-rounded and have a good skill set that's going to assist me on the night.
Where do you think she's going to be most dangerous, standing up or on the ground?
I don't feel that she's dangerous, no disrespect to my opponent. I'm glad that she's taking the fight, but I don't feel that there's anything that I am threatened by in terms of standing or on the ground. I've put a lot of preparation into the work, into this fight, but then again, you know, a fight's a fight. You can have the best camp and lose, you can have the worst camp and win. It all comes down to the night, to be honest.
What do you feel is your greatest strength as a fighter? Do you have a preference to stand up on the ground?
Well, my greatest strength is my team and my that's behind me and makes me evolve every single day. So I think that's a big part. People don't see that as a strength. I prefer standing. I've always loved standing. I'm quick on my feet. But you know, people haven't seen my ground and they haven't seen my wrestling, so people are disregarding it and not seeing that I am a well-rounded athlete because they've only seen me standing. Again, it's just being comfortable. A fight can go anywhere, but my preference is standing, always will be.
What can we expect from you in the future in mixed martial arts?
Well, I'm here to make history and leave a legacy behind. Winning this fight makes me the first female to win 2 fights consecutively. It also puts me in contention for the title. So I'll be, after this fight, the first woman fighting for the inaugural flyweight belt. And once I win that belt, again, it's history and leaving a legacy. So I'm one step closer to achieving my goals and my dream. And hopefully I inspire other women to enter the sport or, you know, anything in life to keep going when days are tough.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for joining us on Sports Daily.